You think this is pretty?
I think I'm prettier.
Okay.
Nope. Look! Oh no! Stabby!
Work on her stomach.
No, don't leave me!
Hi everyone, I'm Ermi.
I'm Cheryl.
And welcome to the other realm. And today we are here to talk about
Pussies.
and the pussy in question is Moxie.
Moxie! If you want to find out more about animal healing, Elmi will be doing a DIY how to heal your pet. A friend of mine called me and asked whether I wanted to adopt a cat, knowing that I like cats. She was kind of abandoned twice before. So we went on to meet Moxie, and then after a few sessions we fell in love with her.
What has your life been like since Moxie entered your life?
Chaotic. But also very heartwarming. Yeah, very heartwarming. You can hear her, she's like doing her weird meowing for attention, right?
Yeah.
But she's also very affectionate, very sweet, and she's got a very funny attitude. She's deaf, essentially, as deaf as a doorknob. So when we play mahjong or there's thunder, lightning on that, right? She's unfazed. The only way she senses when we're around is when we're walking, the air currents move, right? Or when we turn on the lights, then she knows we're around.
Oh, I see. I met Moxie before on Zoom. Her energy felt very different then. A lot of times, affection and love can help to improve both the physical as well as the emotional condition of pets. Just like a lot of people, when they have their own pets, they feel it's therapeutic. But for the pets itself, being loved and cared for and paid attention to also help their emotional and physical health.
Yeah, I think she actually wishes that we didn't hug her so much. But yeah, I do think that she's happy now. It's a smaller space. She has full control of her environment, essentially. She knows where we are all the time. And yeah, she knows that she's home.
And I realized that her sense of space is very strong. But I noticed that Moxie doesn't like touching a lot, but really likes to explore.
Yes. I think one of the reasons why maybe she doesn't like being handled or she has such a strong sense of space is because she was probably overhandled as a kitten because she's one rough ball of cuteness, right?
Normally, when cats have a very strong sense of space, it's usually linked to a stress like solar plexus. Because the solar plexus is the emotion and control center. At the same time, I also noticed that her throat chakra is quite active. Okay. A lot of cats actually have suppressed throat chakras because having that space to express themselves makes them more active, and then they start to want to talk more or express themselves more. And the expression need not always be in terms of meowing or whatever. It's even disturbances. But the stress solar plexus also means that she is more susceptible to when you are stressed.
I see.
She will also be very sensitive to energy, especially negative energy.
So I have to clear my own energy.
Yeah, you should clear your own energy before you try to touch her. But of course, when cats have such a strong sense of space, they might have sustained some sort of trauma. That can result in, let's say, the cat not wanting to be held for too long, unless by choice.
I think she has separation anxiety because when I leave the house and she's alone at home, right, she'll pause for a while waiting to see if I'm going to step back in. If not, you can hear her yelling.
But when you go out, do you say anything to her?
Yeah, so we actually, okay, bye Moxie. We try not to make a big deal out of it, but we make sure she sees us leave the house. We have tried before just leaving while she's sleeping. She panics,
Because it feels like abandonment.
Yeah, correct.
There's a possibility that in one of the owners that she is with, when the owner leaves, she might have been subjected to either bullying,
oh dear,
or some experience that is traumatic. It's quite interesting how far she has come. So shall we move on testing her energy and also doing some healing for her?
Okay, let's do that.
Usually with animals, come here, look at this. You think this is pretty?
I think I'm prettier.
Okay.
Nope. Look! Oh no! Stabby!
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to test your... So this is the solar plexus area. So it's negative, you can see her solar plexus is negative. And also her gut. This usually represents it's very vulnerable. But it's not so bad because it's not very rapid. So maybe what we can actually do is to work on her stomach.
No, don't leave me.
So the thing about doing animal healing is that you can't restrict them. So they're not like humans whereby you can actually sort of like get them to sit still or stay still if they don't want to. We just connect to the part that we want, and then we start to infuse like energy, and we try to follow their movement. So as long as they're in a space, it's actually sort of like workable.
So you're channeling the energy now to heal the solar plexus, like your gut.
For her gut, what I'm actually sensing now is that her stomach is very weak. Her whole digestive system is quite erratic. You might want to consider giving her like stomach massages.
She doesn't really like being touched or held.
You can actually infuse the pendulum with energies that are healing, and then you can put it like on her back, or you can stroke this part here. When she cuddles with you and she is allowing you to pet her, focus on patting like her back and her solar plexus, and then just set the intention that you want to give her like healing energy. In my center, when I recommend this to clients, we can help them to procure the crystal like rod and make sure that it's something suitable for their cats or their dogs, and then I will infuse like healing energy into it. You can actually use it to kind of like stroke.
So you must touch the fur lah.
Yeah.
Then will it have static which?
No, so you do it slowly. Yeah, don't do like this, because the focus is on energy. So you can just do like really slowly. Let's demo with this. So if this is the cat, just do like that, and then do in one direction.
Over the affected part only, or like?
Yeah, over the affected part.
Okay.
Because usually we will program the crystal rod to be effective for a particular part. Each time after you have stroked her with it, put it under running water to cleanse it, and then just like dry it, and every week or so you can put it out in the sun for 30 minutes to energize it.
Okay. What kind of crystal is the rod made of?
Looking at, let's say, Moxie's energy, then our channel what kind of rod could be actually good for her. So for example, in Moxie's case, selenite rod, hermatite, sunstone, or yellow jasper. Selenite is usually used for like cleansing, to help to detox her solar plexus. So hermatite actually helps with grounding and detoxing and helping her to feel more stable and like secure. And then sunstone and yellow jasper is more for like helping her to detox and energize her solar plexus and also the digestive system.
So that means I need to have multiple rods for different purposes?
You can try with one first. The most essential one would be the cleansing. So you can try using a selenite like rod first.
Can I use a rod on myself also? Like when I'm feeling like very sad.
You can, but make sure that you cleanse it and test it. So if you are using the rod for yourself as well, then before you use it in Moxie, it's good for you to use a pendulum to test, is this safe for Moxie to use? Now, then maybe it's not safe. When they come to first contact with healing, some of them actually are uncertain. I would suggest that you consider remote healing. Can be done like, for example, in the morning or in the afternoon, for cats especially, because afternoons usually they take naps. I'm in my center, and then they are in their home, and then I'm just sending energy, and I send a report after. So sometimes after they've experienced the healing a few times, when it comes to the actual physical healing, they will be much calmer because they already recognize the energy and it doesn't freak them out.
Is there such a thing as too much healing?
No, because you can always sort of work on different things. But there is such a thing as not over clearing. In the beginning, we usually try to do just half an hour because their bodies are much smaller. So unlike humans, they can't take a full hour of healing sometimes. And often I will stop because we don't want them to start to over clear, in which case they may actually fall ill. So in her case, right, because she's quite sensitive and she's also sensitive to energies as well, her diarrhea could actually be traced to certain days when there are higher energies, and then she starts to like detox. So one thing you can do is to track it. If she always have a diarrhea near to, let's say, full moon, new moon, or certain high energy days, work on her more before those days.
I see. Because I attended your energy channeling workshop, which is really good, by the way. Then I tried to do some like clearing for her. I don't know whether I overdid it or I don't know what I channeled. The next day she had explosive diarrhea.
How long did you do the healing for?
Maybe about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was the first time I tried that with her.
So usually what happens is that when you first, like, let's say are channeling energy, you may not be able to control the amount of energy.
Okay.
Because for example, when I work on like pets, right, I will also control the amount of energy that I'm infusing into them so that they are more like comfortable. Because you are capable of channeling quite a lot of energy, so maybe you channel like a lot of energy, like way too much, you know? Yeah, but the explosive diarrhea could be a detox.
Okay, if you want to find out more about animal healing, Elmi will be doing a DIY how to heal your pet course soon. So stay tuned. Subscribe.
And if you're interested in getting the crystal rods, the link is below as well. Bye!
Bye. Come on, come on. You. Come, you face here. Too scary? Okay.